What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 21 of the Charge to the Top here with Hereford FC, and today I've got for you guys a live commentary against Billericay. It's top v second. This was the same kind of thing that we had going on last episode, of course. Then it was against Weston-super-Mare. If you missed that episode, I advise you to go check it out. It was a good one, and hopefully today we can carry on with that form. And well, it's been a very good run of fixtures for us. Of course, not that long ago since the Weston-super-Mare game. As you can see, 5 games played in that period of time, and 2 of those actually in the FA Trophy, which is where we begin. As you can see in the opening game, we drew 2-2 against Hartlepool. Not a bad result. You know, pretty good against, I guess, a newly relegated team into the division above us. Kind of would have liked it not to go to a replay, if I'm honest. I was a little bit worried it might have a knock-on effect on our team, just clogging up our fixture schedule further. However, in the replay, we did very well. We actually won 2-0. As you can see, Keenan Bennett and Ote with the goals. And in truth, those two guys, Ote and, well, Bennett, they've been the difference makers for us this year. 2 fantastic players. Keenan Bennett's leading the way with assists in this season, and Ote leading the way with the goals. Anyway, 3 league games to follow, and all with 4 goals scored for us. The first of which, as you can see here, was a 4-2 win, a good win against Welling, but a new man on the score sheet, Stefan Payne, has joined us. Now, as you guys will know if you watched last episode, Quigley's out for the year. I hate to say it, but his career at the club is probably gone at this point, and it's over. So we needed to get in a replacement. This is the replacement in question. Stefan Payne, 27 years old, comes in on £700 a week, which is a big kind of wage increase versus Quigley, but he's a very good player. And if we just compare him to Ote here, just so you can see kind of the difference in the players. Obviously, Ote, a consistent performer, consistently performs the attributes he shows, but Stefan Payne, a very good forward, 27 years old, a player with quite an interesting career, actually. As you can see here, he started off at Croydon. He then played for Sutton and moved to Fulham back in 2009-2010. Never made an appearance for them. Went down to League 2, had a loan spell in the Vanarama South. As you can see, looking at it here, really didn't play a lot of football for an extended period of time, in truth. Moved around a lot of different teams. In recent years, he found himself at Barnsley, where he didn't make an appearance. He was released. And we've picked him up, and as you can see so far, 3 appearances, 3 goals, 2 assists. He's looking like a very, very good signing for us. And well, this was his debut, and it was great for him to get 3 goals in it, or sorry, 2 goals in it, in what was our 4-0 or 4-2 win. Of course, he has got another one since then. Anyway, the next game we had against Chelmsford, 4-0 away win. Ote with a hat-trick, Keenan Bennett, as you can see, getting the 4th. It was a very good performance. The assists shared around the team. Payne got one of them. And as you can see, we followed that up with another win, this time against Sutton United. It finished 4-1. Ote, 2 goals, Payne 1 goal. Of course, Sutton, a team who were tipped to do great things at the start of the season. We beat them on the opening day of the season 4-3. You may remember that being a live com. It was a game where we were 4-0 up and we almost bottled it, but we didn't. And well, we showed a little bit more of that dominance against Sutton again here. So anyway, looking at the Vanarama South table after that run of results, as you can see, we sit top of the pile, pretty good at the top as well. 48 points, Billericay behind us on 42. Weston-super-Mare, who we beat last episode, on 41 points in 3rd. So a win here could really do wonders for us. It would pull us clear. Even if we lose to here to Billericay today, we are still going to be ahead of them. And, well, we've had a very, very good run of form. Obviously, we kind of picked up some momentum quite nicely, really, when we beat St Albans 6-1. That was a bit of a turning point. And, well, since then, it's been a really good run of fixtures. Of course, we had a few disappointing ones against Bromley, against Wealdstone, against Bath. We bounced back last episode against Weston-super-Mare. We've carried that momentum onwards. And yeah, I'm kind of excited to get into today's game. So as you guys know, Payne is a new addition to the side, but he is not the only man to join the club, in fact. We have one more player to introduce, Rafael Branco. Now this guy, he's Brazilian, 28 years old. We actually signed him from Swindon, where he was released. So, as you can see, he played for Swindon, only made 4 appearances for them in League 2 last year. Quite an interesting career. You can see, made it in Brazil, played in the top flight for Cruzeiro, moved to Brighton, where he only, well, he was there for 1 year. He didn't actually make an appearance. Moved to Whitehawk. Kind of made a name for himself there. He played a fair few games in League 1 for Swindon, and well, he looks like a very, very good player at this level. 28 years old. He's a quite technically gifted centre-back as well. It's always something that we kind of lacked. I kind of really, at this level, only really expect heading, marking and tackling when it comes to technicals. But for a player to have 10 vision, 10 passing, 10 first touch, 11 technique, he looks like a player who's going to be very good with the ball at his feet. And yeah, I'm kind of excited to see what he can do at the club. He's joined us till the end of the year initially, £500 a week on the wages. And yeah, as I said, I think he could be quite a good player for us. So anyway, this is the team going into today's game. In goal, we stick with the Australian Joel Driscoll. Of course, a player who I kind of alluded to last episode as a player I'm perhaps looking to replace long term. There really hasn't been a goalkeeper that's kind of sprung up that I've been desperate to sign. So at the moment, at least, he holds his spot in goal. Left back, we have Chris Owens, of course, signed from Telford. Currently in the process of extending this guy's contract to the end of next season. As you can see, obviously, it's been the turn of the year now. We're into January, which means I can start to look to extend the contracts of players whose contracts are extending at the end of the season. Chris Owens, one of the first players I've offered a new deal to. I think he's a very good player, the left back. He's shown great promise, really, and so far he's had a very good start to his career at the club. Anyway, at right back we have Cain Smith, a player who has, in truth, kind of been phased out of this team in terms of his overall quality. There was a point at which he was the star man, kind of looking back towards the end of the very first season where he joined us right at the death. But since then, obviously, he's captained the club. He's been a fairly good leader for us, but you can see he's declining a bit as a footballer. He's 22 years old, and if we just quickly compare him to Chris Owens on the other wing, on the other fullback position, you can kind of see the golfing class that's kind of emerging from one side to the other. So the right back position, certainly an area of the pitch that is on my radar as needing some attention. Anyway, in the centre-back positions, we go with Jordan Piggott, of course, a player who joined us last year. A very good player despite his lack of consistency. As you can see this year, a 7.37 average rating for him. He's been very, very good in the centre-back position. And alongside him, we go with Rafael Branco, the new man on the block, the Brazilian. Got a bit of a point to prove, this guy. Really curious to see how he can get on. In truth, I'm surprised Swindon let him go. I'm surprised he wasn't playing football for them in League 2. But their loss is our gain, and as you can see, we've made the change by playing him on ball-playing defender on defend for today's game. Anyway, moving up into the midfield, in the centre of the park we go with Duffman, and alongside him we go with Isaac Kristy Davis. A player who really has improved and excelled since joining the club. Released by Chelsea, he's come to us, played 17 games so far this season, and they've all been in the league. He's got a 7.08 average rating in the league. He's looking like definitely one for the future. A very, very exciting player for us. Anyway, at right back we go with Keenan Bennett. He's been in great form, as I already kind of alluded to. 9 goals and 15 assists for him in 21 league games. An absolutely ridiculous contribution he's given to the side so far this year. Really a player punching above his weight in this division, but he's doing a fantastic job for us. Anyway, on the left-hand side, we go with Anthony Wright, a player who had a great first year at the club last year. Not quite on course to have the same season as last year when it comes to assists, but you can see, in terms of his average rating, he's actually been a little bit better this year. He's added a lot more goals thus far in his performances, and hopefully as the season progresses, he can kind of continue to contribute what he's been doing so far for us. A fantastic player in truth, and I'm very, very excited to see this guy perform this year. At 21, he looks like a very good winger. He's perhaps not of the quality that we would be looking for going for a promotion push next year, but right now, while he's at the club, Anthony Wright has been absolutely superb for us. Anyway, in the target man position, we go with Stefan Payne, new man on the block. Bit of a point to prove for him, 27 years old. A little bit of experience, which I think is a nice addition to the side. And of course, alongside him, we do have Aramide Ote. As you can see, 23 goals for him in 20 games. He has 9 goals in his last 5 games. This man, he's on fire. He's been absolutely incredible this year. Of course, we're quickly getting a long-term injury. He's had to bounce back from his own injury kind of worry with the concussion and damaged foot to really prove himself over this kind of calendar year. And over this last year, he's kind of emerged as our main man, really, it's fair to say. Fantastic talent. Hopefully he can give a good performance today, as we are going to be taking on Billericay. Anyway, on the bench we've got George Johnson, Jay Harris, Malik Hamilton, Joe Willock and Sean Hanbury. So I'm pretty happy with this team as a whole. No real injury worries other than the Quigley injury, but we've kind of adapted with that. We've kind of tried to push through, and obviously the addition of Stefan Payne really gives us some backup and some newfound power, I guess, in the striker position. I'm really excited to see how he gets on today. So this is a big game for us. Billericay sitting second in the table, a team who have found form in recent days. I believe we beat them earlier on in the season when we previously met. And of course, it's worth noting that if we were to win this game, we'd actually pull ahead of them by 9 points. Granted, the fact that Western-super-Mare could move up into second if Billericay do lose today. But at the same time, a win here puts us in a very, very good position at the top of the table. Our form of late's been superb. Teams have been struggling to shut us down. We've scored 4 goals in our last 3 league games each game. So yeah, 12 goals in the last 3. There is going to be a bit of pressure, you imagine, on the Billericay defence here. It's a big game for them. We're at home. Hopefully we can give the performance to match kind of the billing that we deserve to have as, well, Duffman with an ambitious ball to Payne early on, but we still have the possession here. Bennett, he's actually on the cusp of setting the record in this division for most assists in a season, and, well, he might be able to add a few more to his collection today, the right midfielder. A fantastic player for us. Really been a standout performer, Keenan Bennett, a player who Millwall were looking at the start of the year. We managed to keep hold of him, and I'm very, very grateful for that. Either way, it's actually Billericay with the ball here, bringing it forward early on. 17 minutes gone. Looking at the stats as a whole, possession pretty much 50-50. Shots, not a lot of them to speak of. And, well, it's Billericay actually on the attack here. Worrell to Coe. Options in the middle, perhaps pulls it back, and Leighton thrashes it in. Not the most convincing of finishes. It looked like he might skew it wide from a position where it was much harder to miss than score. And, well, not the start to the game we were looking for. Billericay, first shot on target of the game for them. Worrell with the ball through to Oko, and he pulls it back. The marking a little bit bad. It's that Kane Lewis at right back, the player I've kind of mentioned being not quite up to scratch. It's actually Smith. Oh, why did I call him Kane Lewis? It's Cain Smith, Jack. Wake up. You don't even know your own captain's name. Duffman. Thought he was going to score a screamer. It's worth noting, the orange ball is out. It very much is winter here in England. And, well, Leighton's got a chance here, and he's going to score again. What is this marking? What are we doing? Cain Smith at right back, just not up to scratch. And while they found the back of the net here, Worrell, you think Blanco's got the tackle, and it's a bit of an unfortunate ricochet in the end, and the ball's finished into that top right corner. The sleet is coming down. There is snow starting to settle on the pitch. It's not a nice day for football, and, well, the performance so far, as far as we're concerned, has kind of resembled that weather. It's been a bit drab. It's been a bit boring. It's not what we want to see, and we need to step things up here. Looking like going into half-time, we're going to be 2 goals down, which is bitterly disappointing. We've been in fine form as of late. We've been scoring goals for fun. And, well, the fact we've not scored in a half of football is very rare for us, but it's also a little bit concerning. I'm going to tell the players that I'm looking for them to make a difference today. Can we make something happen? Payne not having the greatest game. Anthony Wright on the left not having a great game either. I'm going to bring in Joe Willock, I think. The other thing I'm going to do actually is push our wingers into the attacking midfielder spots, but actually on support. And I'm also going to move Payne onto attack as a target man. So we're going to commit a few more men forward in this attack. We're going to play a little bit more direct in the second half. We'll see if it works for us. Worrell, well, you thought he might score there, but Joel Driscoll, nice stop by the goalkeeper there. Now can we build something? What has he just done? Joel Worrell, what have you... It's one of the worst mistakes I think I've seen this year in FM. I'm looking forward to seeing it in 3D. If you missed it, what's he done? I mean, he's gone to throw it out of his feet to kick it off the ground, and he's just thrown it to Warren. I think he's done the thing. I've seen it in real football where the keeper throws it with a bit of backspin to spin it back to himself. Unfortunately, he's just dropped it to their striker. I feel like going into this game, we needed a big performance. We're playing the team in second, and, well, quite literally, we've thrown the ball to them to give them opportunities in this game, and that's kind of a problem. Anyway, let's see if we can try and bounce back. We've got plenty of time still to do it. The ball up here. Willock, can he get the ball back in? He can. Payne's there. You thought he might pull the trigger, but it was actually cleared away very nicely. We still do have the ball here, though. Kristy Davis looking for options on his right. Gets tackled by Hubble. Maybe now a chance for Billericay to hit us on the counter. This has really not been a good performance so far. Piggott, can he get it back to the keeper without laying him off short? He can. Joel Driscoll kind of deals with it. It's a hacked away clearance. He looked very nervy by the goalkeeper. And, well, Morrison ends up skewing his effort wide. This has not been the match I was hoping it was going to be. We're 3-0 down. We've already made one sub in this game. Payne has had a poor game. Ote's had a poor game by his standards. We're going to bring in Hanbury. I'm also going to bring in, I think, Malik for Duffman. Do I want to take off? I kind of do. Owens has had a poor game at left back as well. It's been in truth, it's been a game where everyone's performed pretty badly. And when you have these games, which does happen, it's very difficult to grind out a result. We're going to make a change there. Triple change now in action. Obviously, Hanbury's come on. Hamilton's come on. Willock was already on at half-time. But, well, you'd have to say our pride has been well and truly destroyed in this game. We've not been good enough, simply put. They've played the ball around nicely. They've caused us problems. And, well, it kind of shows, doesn't it? On the score sheet, they've been just on top in this game. We're going to commit a lot more men to the attack. We've kind of got to. We've not got a choice. There's 20 minutes left. And, well, we need a bit of a miracle, really, if we're honest. Ashby to Oko. He cuts inside. Now back with Ashby. Loads of options in the middle. Now with Worrell. Plays it to Leighton. He's looking for a hat-trick. Joel Driscoll denies him this time. I mean, he threw him the ball earlier, so it's the least he can do. It's a bit of a frustrating game, this one, to say the least. We are going to get battered, I think, unless there's a late chance for a comeback, perhaps 12 minutes, 3 goals required. I mean, it seems increasingly unlikely as we squander more and more opportunities and commit more and more men to the attack, leaving us open at the back. In truth, we've just not been at the races in this game. We've had 1 shot on target all game, and Leighton, looking for the hat-trick, probably should have scored it again. This match has just been anything but satisfactory. 1 shot on target. We have collapsed here. We've not given the kind of performance that we need to. We gave a great account of ourselves against Western-super-Mare. Even in the games preceding that this year, it's been largely very good performances where we've demolished teams. But today, it's been poor. At least Bennett has got an assist to add to his seasonal tally. It's Malik Hamilton with his first ever goal for the club. It's something perhaps. There is not a lot of time in this game. Bennett's with the cross in. Ote who gave that first ball through. The ball pulled back very nicely. It's Hamilton who latches onto it, the Canadian youngster. Flashes it into the back of the net. And, well, I don't think there's going to be time here. Just 40 seconds remain. Unfortunately, this is going to be a defeat. We did get a goal, but it's unfortunately just kind of a consolation in truth. You look at the stats, we've had a lot of shots. We've been very, very wasteful today. We've not crafted out clear-cut opportunities. We've snatched at our opportunities. Both Payne and Ote just didn't really have the best days at the office. Even Hansbury, when he's come on, not played particularly great for us. And in truth, it's just been our inability to finish in front of goal that's cost us. I guess when you concede 3 goals, you look at yourself defensively and wonder if that was a problem. I do feel like the Joel Driscoll throw out for the 3rd goal is kind of very difficult to kind of conjure up any excuses for. But at the same time, at 2-0 down, we were already in a bad situation. It just made it that little bit worse. Fortunately, at least, I guess you could say, Billericay were 6 points behind us. So despite them and Western-super-Mare winning, we still do have a 3-point cushion plus goal difference on those 2 sides. It's going to be tricky for us, though. At least we've played Billericay twice now. I guess that's the silver lining here, is our fate is kind of in our own hands. We played Sutton, of course, already, a team who, they're going fairly strong in the league in 6th. And, well, Margate now on the horizon too. In terms of when we'll be back, I'm not actually sure. We are in the FA Trophy 3rd round, but in truth, it's not a competition I'm overly fussed about. Looking at our games coming up, Margate are in 10th, Truro in 16th, Whitehawk in 21st, Maidenhead in 15th, Hungerford in 17th, Dartford in 8th, Havant in 20th, Hemel Hempstead in 22nd, Eastbourne Borough in 13th. We've actually got quite a kind run of games. Our last few games, we're going to have Maidstone, Bromley, Western-super-Mare all to play. That's going to be pretty tricky for us. But looking at our run coming up, I feel fairly good about that. In terms of when we'll be back, I don't think we're going to be back all that soon. I may well return for the St Albans game, or I might just pick a game during this run of fixtures. It may be Dartford if they pick up a bit of form. We'll kind of play it by ear, but we have got a nice run of fixtures kind of coming up. The January transfer window is on the horizon, or actually it's already kind of started. Looking at the finances, we've got a little bit of money maybe to make a signing or two. As you can see here, I was just looking at some expired players. There's some kind of nice options available. I'd like to get a really good star goalkeeper. You can see here, Joe Lumley of QPR, currently unhappy. Might look to get him on loan. I wonder if that's an option, perhaps. Let's have a look real quick. But yeah, the goalkeeper position may be something I'd be interested in strengthening off the back of that, well, Joel Driscoll performance in general, but also the fact he just isn't that great. I'm going to scout this guy a little bit further, just get a further understanding of just how good he is. Is he actually going to be that bigger an upgrade for us? But yeah, Joe Lumley, maybe a player to sign, I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, Billericay profit from wasteful balls, kind of replicates what I said about us wasting opportunities. Keenan Bennett has done well though, he is up to, if we just look here, he's up to 16 assists for the season, which is absolutely superb. Ote on 23 goals as well, only Goodship on 15. Kind of close to trailing him, really. In terms of the average ratings, we've got a fair few players up there. Quigley, of course, not going to be playing anymore this year, unfortunately. But both our wingers high up on the assist charts. They're both playing very well in the final third. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up this episode from me. Thank you so much for watching, as always. As I said, not entirely sure when we'll be back. We'll play it by ear. I'll make sure it's a good one. And hopefully I'll see you guys for it. If you have enjoyed, leave a like. If you've got any comments, leave them down below. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.